show, and right now we're talking to Josh the Gentleman Hill. Make sure to check out Bellator 258. It's coming soon. Next Friday. Going to be a very exciting fight between him and Raufeon Supa Stots. Going to be one of the most exciting fights on the card. It's going to be on the prelims, so make sure to tune in early. Very exciting matchup. Going to be fireworks. Two in the top 10 in the world square off in the Bellator cage. We have number 7 ranked Josh Edelman Hill, who trains at Vision Quest MMA, has done training camps at Team Alpha Male in Sacramento, California for this fight. And recently, he was in the cage with Erik Perez, defeating him by unanimous decision last August at Bellator 244. So we appreciate you again, Josh, for taking time to be on the Fightlete Report today.
Yeah, man, no problem. Anytime.
Tell us, working with Team Alpha Male for this fight, the decision you made to, go there to get some training in, and who's helped you?
I've been coming out here since 2014. So this is like my home away from home. And like my away team. So I love to come out here for my fights. But with the whole COVID thing, what's happening in Ontario right now and Canada, it's just it's a mess, man, like an absolute mess. So I came out here and I was actually supposed to go back and finish my camp at home, but the gyms were closed down again. A bunch of my team got COVID, and it was just a nightmare. So I decided to stay here and just do the whole camp here. So it's good.
Yeah, is that the first time you did the whole camp and at Team Alpha Male in Sacramento?
I think I've done one before, but yeah, usually I only come out for a couple weeks. It's hard to get away with the family and the gym and stuff back home. But yeah, with everything closed right now, it was just kind of the better, the smarter option. So
definitely, yeah, I'm glad you're staying safe out there. In your last fight, you didn't. I don't think you had the opportunity to go to Team Alpha Male, right?
No, I don't think I did. I think I did it all back home. Yeah.
Nice. And well, you were very successful. So, talk about that fight, with Erik Perez, and how do you feel it went, getting that unanimous decision?
Yeah, I felt great. I felt good. I know Erik, probably one of my best wins for sure. He's a seasoned vet, very skilled everywhere. And I went kind of how I thought it was going to go. I wanted to finish, and I almost got it in the third. But I felt good everywhere. I just felt a step ahead of him wherever we went in the fight. And I'm super happy with the win.
Definitely. Congratulations on that one. And let's talk about some of the fighters who are helping you, as well as the coaches. I know Chris Holdsworth, he's transitioned to a coach after, an unfortunate injury in his career. How do you feel he's been valuable to you during your training camps?
Good. Oh yeah, man. Coming out here, like I always say, like of everybody I roll with out here, he gives me the most problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's super skilled and a great coach. So yeah, he's a great asset to have out here for sure.
And you were both on Ultimate Fighter a few years
ago.
Well.
Yeah, that's where we met. Yeah.
Nice. That's great that you have that connection with him. And then, talk about, you're having your gym Vision Quest. I know you said that unfortunately we have restrictions there that have closed it down, but operating during the pandemic, how challenging has it been for you?
Yeah, man, like any business in Ontario, especially gyms, it's just been a nightmare. We were closed down for a while. We opened up and we started ramping things up again, and we're getting super busy and growing like crazy, and then only to be closed down again. And then again, I mean, it's just, it's so poorly handled in my opinion. And I'm just so disappointed with our government and how things are running there, because, even being out here, I'm in California, in a very liberal state, a lockdown state. But even here feels like 10 times more freedom than back home. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's so poorly run.
Okay. Yeah, I understand, man. I'm in kind of the similar situation too here, but it doesn't seem as bad as what you're describing.
Yeah. Ontario is probably one of the worst places right now to be honest, with COVID stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, it's brutal.
Really? So it's more of like, not the rate of infections, but how it's being, handled.
Both. I think I don't know. Somehow there's the infection rates going higher during lockdowns. So obviously lockdowns don't work, but they keep doing lockdowns. And
Yeah.
and then the things that are coming from all these lockdowns and being isolated, the negativity coming from that is overwhelming too. So it's just yeah, it's not good, man. It's not a good place
Right.
right now.
Well, hopefully, it'll turn around and, summer approaches as well.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Anything like you tried to do something different? You tried to do some stuff on Zoom or, like remote,
For what? Just for
but like personals or maybe, group classes. I know it's pretty tough, but
yeah, I can't do it, man. I can't sit there and just do shit on Zoom. It's not me. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and whoever works for you, I get it. But yeah,
yeah,
um, I hate that stuff.
definitely. You probably miss like having everybody there. That's the authentic way. I mean, that's the most effective way to run a class.
Yeah, man. And it just, I don't know. I mean, so the power to all those people that are doing it, and but like for me, no, I wouldn't. I don't know. It'd be hard for me to pay to see that, just to watch somebody on Zoom do stuff.
Sure.
I mean, I could just go on YouTube and look at videos then, you know what I mean, for
Yeah.
free. So yeah, it's tough, and it's not what I like to do.
For sure. Canada, most regional events aren't happening right now. TKO, as many of the other fine promotions out there. How do you feel Bellator has been able to provide you with the opportunities to fight now? Are you satisfied with the amount of fights they've been offering you?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate because I got a lot of guys back home. If you know what, if you're not in one of the big promotions, UFC, Bellator one or PFL now, it sucks for you. Or maybe CFFC. But a lot of the shows aren't running, and especially Canada right now. BTC, I do commentary for, is finally coming back in June, but they I'll go all the way to BC to put on a show because they can't do it in Ontario.
Wow.
So they're kind of piggybacking with BFL out there, just to put a show on. So there's so many guys that are on the regional circuit right now that aren't getting fights. They're not getting paid, although they don't get paid a lot anyway. But
Yeah.
they're not advancing their career. You know what I mean? So that hurts, man. That sucks. So I'm fortunate that I'm still being able to fight during all this,
Sure.
which is great. Bellator took a couple months off there at the start of the year, but I'm happy that they're back full swing now, and they plan on doing, I think, like I said, like 24 shows this year. So a good solid year of shows.
It definitely. I'm very excited that they're back as well. Training for Raufeon Stots, he's been successful so far in Bellator, 3 wins in a row. Where do you see this fight going? His wrestling's been impressive. It just seems a real well-rounded guy that in all avenues of the fight game.
Yeah, he's well rounded. I know he does have a wrestling background, but it's a good match, a tough match. All these guys at this level though are tough matches, and they're all going to be well rounded. You're not going to have a guy that has horrible grappling or horrible stand-up. They're all going to be pretty good everywhere. But yeah, I like this match. You know what I mean? I think we match up pretty well together, and very similar actually in our styles. But I think I'll have the power advantage. I think I hit harder. I think my striking, is, I have a little more options there. But I could see this fight going everywhere. To be honest, I could see it on the feet. I could see it in the clinch. I can see us grappling, wrestling for position. So I'm prepared. Wherever this goes, I'm good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for the fight. Just that, your name and his name just jumps out at me as this is a definitely important fight in this division.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's most likely it hasn't been officially announced or said, but I'm pretty sure it's a number one contender fight for sure. If not, I mean, like, who else would it be, right? I mean,
Right.
we're both undefeated in the division, and the title fight's happening that night too. So I think who wins this fight should get a title shot.
Definitely. I mean, just throw it out there. I know there is a Gallagher and Mix.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that fight's off now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but yeah, Gallagher, man, that guy can't give that guy a title shot. Who's he beat? You know what I
Right.
mean? He's fought one decent guy and he got beat up. And Mix, I think, would have beat him pretty handily, in my opinion. But and Mix, he's definitely up there too, but he just fought for the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So He'd probably have to get at least 1 or 2 wins before he could get another crack. So I think that puts me and Stots right in line.
Definitely. And do you miss having a crowd? You know, seeing that we do have some spectators for MMA. We just saw UFC 261, along with, you know, other sports in the States. Any expectations on your end for the return of fans for Bellator?
You know, it's cool for the walkout, I guess. That's where you miss it. But once I'm in the cage, it doesn't matter. You know,
Right.
it's actually when it's quiet like that, you can actually hear your corner better.
Yeah.
But yeah, the walkout and the atmosphere for that. And after the fight, it's always better with fans for sure. But yeah, once I'm in there, it doesn't matter.
Do you ever play some kind of song in your entrance to invoke some kind of reaction from the fans?
I come out to the same song my whole career, you know, and I have never changed it. Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Okay.
Since my second pro fight, would have done my first, but we didn't get to choose our music then. But yeah, that's my song, and you know, especially on the Canadian scene, when you hear that, it kind of like, you know, it's my song. That's what I walk out to. So, and everybody loves that song, right? So
Yeah.
it's a crowd pleaser too.
Yeah, that definitely, you could actually see the fans singing along with that one as well.
Yeah.
So it definitely brings up the energy. You know, talk about, you know, Bellator has the current Grand Prix in the light heavyweight. Now you see the possibility of having the Bantamweight Grand Prix one day, but you know, how have they been doing in other weight classes? Do you have any criticism of it? Do you like what they've been doing in the other weight classes?
I was hoping they were going to do a bantamweight one this year.
Yeah.
Would have been amazing. I do like it. I like how they did the featherweight one too,
Mhm.
kind of with like the draws, and you get to pick your date or opponent. I think that was kind of cool. And who wouldn't want to be in a Grand Prix for $1 million, man?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm all for it. I hope they do a bantamweight one. You know, I probably won't do one this year just because they got the light heavyweight. So maybe next year. But they have the division to do it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And so many have come to the 135-pound Bellator. It's really growing.
Yeah.
And then what are your thoughts on the main event with Bellator champion Archuleta and Sergio Pettis? Exciting matchup, obviously, between two of the top guys.
That's a good fight. You know, that's a really good fight. You know, Archuleta is just kind of that guy, like well-rounded everywhere, durable, tough, you know, finds ways to win, and has a lot of experience. And then Pettis is that, you know, very technical striker, very equipped, you know, everywhere too. Great wrestling defense, good grappling. Yeah, I don't know if I who to pick in this. I probably lean towards Archuleta, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised either way. And I think I match up good. You know, I mean, I think I mean, man, at this level, I think I match up. I'm confident in my abilities, and I think I match up good with anybody in the top of the division in the world. So, you know, I just got to come out there and show my A game, and I think I match up well with either of them.
Yeah, it'd be exciting to see that. And you know, obviously for you, you know, you've been in the title fight situation before. You know, you didn't come out on top. You still had went the
Yeah,
distance. So you
yeah,
had the experience.
yeah. I've been there, you know, and especially 5 rounders. I've done 2 5 rounders in my career. So it's not fun. I never want to go 5 rounds, but I'm definitely able to do so.
Definitely. And do you ramp up anything when you know that you're going to 5 rounds? You're going, you know, possibly 5 rounds. Is there any tweaks that's different in your train camp?
Yeah, you know, I'm doing more rounds for sure. You know, when I have fights geared to 3, you know, I always do more than that, of course. But so when I do 5, then I'm doing even more. So say if I'm doing 5 rounds for a 3 round fight, I'm gonna probably do 7 or 8 for a 5 round fight.
Wow, that's intense. Yeah, I know Miesha Tate was your former coach on The Ultimate Fighter. You know, what do you know the return to UFC? And you think she stands a chance for that comeback tour? You know, I know she wants to rematch Nunes at the end of it and walk out the champion, but you know, that's
I was surprised to see it, because I know she was with Juan,
yeah,
being like an executive out there, and I don't know, maybe she just, you know, I know she had 2 kids, so maybe she kind of like she's done that now, and now she can kind of she's still young enough to fight, so and just had the urge to do it, and yeah, I mean, you know, good for her if she wants to do it, and you know, I think she can definitely win some fights in that division, but you know, against Nunes, you know, that's a tall task right now, especially the you know, how she's rocking through everybody. So yeah, that's a tall task, but she can definitely win some fights.
Definitely. And then, oh yeah, no, I figured we would talk about it as well, because you've got Nunes is going to be fighting Pena, and you're familiar with Julian Pena, also on top.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, that one, I mean, I mean, anything can happen as a fight, but I bet my money on Nunes for sure.
definitely. And then I know we've got, Cody Garbrandt, you've gotten some training sparring rounds in him. I'm sure he's pretty confident, after his last victory, although coming back from injury. How do you feel when you spar with him? How is the feeling like?
Great. I love training with Cody. I think it helps both of us. I know it's cliche with the iron sharpens iron type thing. I feel when I train with guys like that, it elevates my game, and I have to rise to the occasion. Sometimes when you go with guys that that you're kind of better than, and you can kind of like relax a little bit, and sometimes that could be harmful to your game. But with a guy like that, I got to be ready and sharp, and so yeah, when we do rounds or training, it's great.
That's great that you're getting the looks from Cody. And what do you think about his fight with Rob Font?
It's a tough one for sure. That's Font's a tough, durable guy, and he's pretty long for the division and has very good boxing. I think if Cody uses his speed, because I think he'll definitely have a speed advantage. If he uses his speed, mixes up takedowns or takedown attempts, and stays disciplined, is his biggest thing. I think if he does that, I think he should get the win for sure.
Lovely. And, talk about it also, during this time, what's the plan when you do come back home, dealing with what you're dealing at this point, with your business, hopefully you do get that victory, but, kind of like, is there anything overshadowing you? Anything that's worrying you from